Okay guys, another day in the shop. I got a package in the mail. Let's see what it is. Look at this. Bunch of AM fittings, adapters, 90s, 45s, 60s, I think that's what those are called. All kinds of good stuff in here. And why do you say I need this stuff? Why does anybody need stuff like this? To replumb an oil cooler. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, probably not, but a rotary motor has an oil cooler, and that one in that position is doing nothing. I stuck it there so I could run the motor and I could tow the car from Washington. So today we're gonna relocate it. I don't know where yet, but we're going to. So let's get this done. All right, so I've got the old oil cooler position taken out. There's one oil return and one oil pressure. So now I've got to remount oil cooler up here, and then we will redo all the hoses. Okay, temporarily tacked into place. We're gonna close the hood and see if we have clearance. So far, so good. Still clear of everything. All right, so I think these are the fittings I want to use on each end. The pipe will come over, come down. This pipe will come through here, come over here. Now, the question is, that is my in, and this is my out down there. So which end goes to which? I can't even remember. Better look it up. All right, according to this diagram, the one that comes out of the side of the end, which is on the top on this diagram, is my return. And the one that goes into the end of the end goes all the way back to the pressure. So that means that this is my return and this is my pressure. because I have now mounted this thing upside down. And that's critical because this is a pressure relief right here. So when the engine's cold, the oil's thicker, this relieves the pressure. Instead of sending it through the radiator, it just sends it back into the car. All right, so let's start making some hoses. This guy is just gonna go right there. So that's a shorty. We'll start running this, see what, I might be able to go right down through there. Have this kind of just doing that little thing. This is a nice stiff hose. Which means I'd rather have it do this. Or do I think I can get it to do that? Well, either way, it's gonna be about the same length. So let's get an end on. Alrighty, here are both the lines running down to the return and running on down to the pressure. So I'm going to tighten up all the fittings now that I got everything in place. Protective tape on, and then we'll get her outside and fire it up to see if she leaks. Okay, let's see if it leaks. So I walked around and checked all the hoses, made sure everything was good to go, and now I'm prepping it for a test drive. While I'm shutting the hood here, we can look at the dash and everything. The car is obviously not finished. I'm just trying to get the car to a state of drivability and testability. Hey, what is this? Wonder how that got made. So anyway, so let's take it for a little test drive. That's my hood support. I always take it with me just in case. I have to hold it because if I had to have that hood open on the road, it needs to be there to hold it open. So you might notice that the car's a bit squeaky and rumbly and rattly and squeaky. That's just because a lot of it isn't bolted together permanent. I'm just trying to get it to a drivable state, get everything the way I want it, and then I plan on taking the whole car apart, refinishing everything, cleaning it all up, getting it painted properly, getting all the rust taken care of. So until then, it's just still an old car. So we'll have lots of videos of me taking the car apart, refinishing stuff, putting it back together. Got a few projects that still need to do to get it up to par. So I've got it back to the house now after driving around for a while, and we're gonna walk around and check for oil leaks now that it's nice and warmed up. And the hoses have had a chance to actually take some pressure. I do like that shifting knob, it's pretty cool. So let's take a look at these gauges real quick. These are the RX-7 gauges taken apart out of the cluster and installed behind the gauges. So they all are functioning. The tachometer isn't at the right scale, but the red line on it is the right red line. So it may say it's at 6,000 RPM red line when it's actually at 8. But it is functioning, so I can see it. and the speedometer works, and the temp gauge works, and the fuel gauge works. So, let's take a little drive down to Mexico and see what she can do. So I've definitely broke the tires loose in first gear, and I've definitely broke the tires loose between first and second gear. But I've never broke the tires loose between second and third gear. That was pretty cool. So, as you can see, she's a pretty quick little car. As I get more used to it and get it to trusting the handling, it does need an alignment, which is one of the other things I'd like to get done before I rip it all apart, just to make sure I've got the suspension all correct. But until next time,